My Lords, we've had 4 excellent main speeches today, and for me this is my first speech on Britain's relationship with the European Union. So I should begin by declaring an interest. My previous position as Chief Executive of the Vote Leave campaign, and therefore perhaps the person most responsible in the Chamber today for us having this debate. I'm reminded of my role in Brexit every time I walk into Parliament. Behind the security post inside Pear's entrance is a copy of my 1,032-page book on the subject, Change or Go, which I co-authored with my noble friend Lord Moynihan of Chelsea in 2015. Other copies in the parliamentary estate can be found propping up computer monitors or even literally being used as door stoppers. On the subject of today's debate, Change or Go included a long section on what was referred to in those days as the Turkish option, membership of the EU's customs union. After briefly touching on trade, I would like to highlight the regulatory implications of Britain joining a UK-EU customs union for tech and the life sciences. On trade policy, it's clear that the government would need to abandon the trade deals they've negotiated. Speaking in Davos last week, the Chancellor said, "We can't go back in time. Since we've left the EU, we've done trade deals with India, with the US, with South Korea, and obviously you would lose the benefit of some of those trade deals if you were to re-enter a customs union." End of quote. Unlike some of the speakers from the Labour benches, I agree with Rachel Reeves. We should keep control of our trade policy. Second, there's the regulatory impact it would have on our thriving tech and AI sector, the largest in Europe, worth some $1.2 trillion. As the economist Douglas McWilliams, author of The Flat White Economy, said, "We have the most successful tech sector in Europe. The reason why is because we're outside the Digital Markets Act, the Digital Services Act and the AI Act, which are 3 European acts which heavily constrain tech growth in the EU." The Prime Minister agrees with this point. When he launched the government's AI Opportunities Action Plan, Keir Starmer said, and I quote, "I know there are different approaches around the world, but we're now in control of our regulatory regime, so we'll go our own way on this." End of quote. Were we to join a customs union and to have a similar deal to Turkey, we would not be allowed to do this. Article 9 and the second clause of Article 54 would prevent us going our own way on tech and AI. Finally, there's the impact it would have on our world-leading life sciences sector. The head of the MHRA told the Today programme recently that clinical trial applications rose by 9% last year. Inside a UK-EU customs union, we'd lose the benefits of the international recognition procedure, which enables them to take advantage of approvals by their equivalents in Switzerland, Japan, Canada and Australia. We'd also have to row back on the landmark pharmaceuticals deal with the US, which the government achieved just last December. This success is a direct result of the regulatory decisions we've made since Brexit. Why would we chase away world-leading trials and potentially harm the most vulnerable patients in society? My Lords, there are many other areas of government policy which I could have spoken about: education, farming, house building, to name just 3. What the noble Lord Newby is proposing would open up a regulatory Pandora's box on a plethora of policy areas which the government would be wise to avoid. Unless those advocating a UK-EU customs union outline what it would mean for all of the many issues raised in today's debate, it will be clear to this House and to the public they simply do not have a credible plan.
Yeah.